I'm very impatient, so um, that's what's screwing me over right now.
Impatient? Like, do you just feel like you have to rush into trades?
Yeah.
Normally that stems from, uh, I guess you could say, wanting to make money immediately. And I can get that. We all struggle from that. Getting at the root of that is always a little bit more difficult because that requires that you dig in a little bit deeper to try to figure out, okay, well, like you said, you acknowledge that you're impatient. Now the question is, well, why? And when you can get at the root of that, that's when you're going to really start to chip away at those destructive behaviors. Most of the time, our lack of impatience is just because we straight up just want to make money. And sometimes just being in the market can be very adrenalizing. Just watching, the second you deploy capital, you're just watching, money move. And that anticipation of like, dude, am I going to be right? Am I going to be wrong? It can be very thrilling. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying?
You're definitely. No, definitely. I feel like I'm in that stage right now.
Okay. It takes time. You'll grow out of it. It takes time. This is a massive self-awareness journey. This is why I love trading. Not just so much for the money as well, but because of how you have to evolve as a human being. You have to really, really be aware of yourself. And sometimes it's not going to be a pleasant experience being that honest with yourself, because we all know that we're doing, and it's very difficult to look yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, okay, this is why I'm not on my game, or this is why I'm not making the money that I want to make, and how do I overcome these behaviors, these destructive patterns? And there's always a reason for everything. Back then, for me, when I used to be very impulsive, very greedy, very risk, I was heavy on the risk. I was blowing up account after account. It was because deep down inside, I always had those insecurities of feeling like I had to amount to something. Because when your mom, mind you, when your mom and your dad, this is just, my personal experience, when they're constantly telling you ain't going to be shit, or you're around people that make you feel inferior to them, it's never a pleasant feeling. So when you're presented with a platform that gives you the possibility to amount to something, you're going to want to make it happen as quickly as possible. The problem is with trading is the markets don't give a fuck about what you want. They don't care about your goals, your dreams, your family, what you've been through, what you're currently going through. The markets, you're going to have to approach with specific mindsets, specific skill sets, a method, and a lot of patience. And the reason I was very greedy was because I felt that if I had a lot of money, that it would make me feel good about myself. I felt like if I was a guy, because in my closet, like when I was making money as a trader, I was always buying dumb shit with my money, like a bunch of new shirts, suits, watches. I was always like taking my friends out to eat and stuff. And eventually I started to feel very hollow because everybody thinks when you make it, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that means to you, you don't get this sense of victory. It might feel good in the moment, but after a while, it starts to feel very hollow because what you feel like you're chasing when you get to that destination, eventually it's going to feel like nothing, because you're going to realize like, dude, this doesn't change anything. This doesn't change how I feel. It doesn't change my circumstance. It doesn't change what I've been through. And my performance was very volatile because I was still I was still suffering with those biases of like, dude, I have to amount to something. I got to prove something to the world. And the minute I started hitting my stride was when I really stopped giving a fuck about the money. And I care about the money to some extent because, you know, when you're losing or making money, it still thrills you. But I started to really simplify what I wanted about myself. I started to understand a lot about myself. I realized, like, dude, no amount of money is going to make people care about me. My bank account shouldn't change the way I feel about myself. It's a good feeling to know that you have financial security, independence, and freedom. But the moment that I realized most people don't give a shit, it's not good to always be on this path of like constantly chasing something. You need to, rather than feeling like you need to pursue money, you need to focus on the process, because money will be a byproduct of focusing on the process, adhering to discipline, adhering to good process, to our method. And there was this amazing thing that his name is Jocko Willock or something like that. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and one of the things that he said, he was a Navy SEAL. He said that the only thing that will make you feel complete and set you free in this life is discipline. Can you be the person that is consistent with your actions day in and day out, no matter how tired you feel, no matter what you're going through, no matter if you feel like giving up? Because in the end, whether you believe in yourself or not, doesn't matter. Because as long as you're adhering to discipline, the results will be generated. And that's going to take a lot of time for you to adhere to those disciplines, because you have to understand yourself. Understanding yourself is the hardest part of becoming a trader, and then dissecting the root of what is really going on and then ripping it out. As I said, the minute I realized no amount of money is going to make people care about me, no amount of money is going to make me feel truly good about myself. What that is going to relate to is getting away from those insecurities, dismantling the shit that I've been through, you know, with my parents, with my family, not believing the stuff that they would tell me. You know, like telling me that I wasn't shit, that, you know, they don't love me. You know, I had my mom one day tell me she wished I was dead, you know, like try dealing with that psychologically over the years. It's not easy. And of course, I'm sure people have been through way worse shit. You know, I've had my fair share of challenges in my life. But the thing that makes me forget a lot about that is realizing, dude, someone somewhere out there probably has it 10 times worse than me. And that makes me, it gives me that sense of tranquility of knowing that, you know what, if other people have been through way worse and they overcame it, then so can I. And once I really started to get in tune with that, that's when my performance started to skyrocket, because I wasn't chasing moves anymore. I wasn't trying to make a fucking $100, $200 a day. It was more along the lines of like, dude, I'll make the money when I make it. If I lose money, big fucking deal. If I make it, great. And I started really focusing on just saving my money, because I was like, dude, what? Spending my money isn't going to make me any more happier as if I don't have it. So yeah, I think I talked about it a while back. The two books that changed my life completely in the way I think now was The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, and then Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Dude, those books just like made me feel so much more happier about myself, and just realizing like everything's just about process. It's just about process and being content with who you are. Learning to be ambitious but content at the same time, because those who are content are never ambitious, and they never move forward with their life. But those who are ambitious are never content. So if you're ambitious and you're never content with your situation, that means you're always going to be looking for the next high, that next drug, that next accomplishment to make you feel whole. And the sad truth of the matter is that nothing is, if you're not happy right now with where you're at, no matter where you get in your life, you're never going to be happy. So it's trying to strike that balance between being content with your life but at the same time being ambitious. And being in sync with that is a process that takes a while to get. But once you feel in tune with that, you'll feel it. Like I can't explain it to you. I can't muster the word. But when you're there, you'll feel it, and that's when everything starts to change. Like you don't feel as stressed out as you do. You don't feel like you rush to trade. You don't compare yourself to other traders anymore. It's just about you and your own unique individual experience. And once you get there, I'm telling you, Jackie, your experience is going to change, and you'll start making the money you want to make. So yeah, that's just my take on that. But get to the root of it. Your impatience is probably stemming from something much more deeper than you've yet to understand. So, or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting there.
Little by little, little by little.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? What would you say is your most difficult thing to overcome as a trader? Or you're probably still struggling with it right now.
Consistency for me, bro. Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
bro.
Oh yeah, like consistency, man. Like I don't know, like maybe because I've been like stressed out with school and stuff, but like just because like a trade or something doesn't go my way, like doesn't mean I like stay off the charts because I'm still learning, you know.
Yeah. Where do you think your consistency, like where do you think your lack of consistency is coming from? Is it like lack of results, lack of time on the screen? Like, what do you
Time
mean?
on the screen, bro. Like
Okay.
I'll stress out a lot, and then like I won't stay like I won't get on the screens that day.
Yeah.
And it's just like I need to, you know, like even though it's a little bit, because like how else am I gonna learn?
Yeah. I feel, yeah, just don't feel rushed to find a good trade. You know, take your time with whatever trade idea you have, because keep in mind, the more criteria that you have to enter a trade, the better for you for it to work out on your bias. So like Jackie said earlier that she feels like she's just kind of a lo mental, but like I remember having trades like that where I'd be eager to make some money and I was trading based off the visuals, but like Dave said earlier, most of the time when you get an opportunity to rise from the market, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And if there's not some type of thought process to it or some type of um like system to the reason why you're trading, like there's no criteria, there's nothing's checking out, then it's probably not a good trade. You should feel okay that you're not in the market, because it's not market is not giving you anything that you know that works for you. So don't feel like you're left out from the market. Sometimes, like, your ideas will take time to play, and the more confirmations you have that the trade's going to work out for you, the better at the end of the day it's going to be for you.
Yeah, and if anything, you should be happy that your money's not at risk, because I
Yeah.
find I'm the most stressed when my money's at risk, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's a stressful process. Because I don't care if you're losing $1 per trade, $2 per trade, $10 per trade, $100 per trade. Money's money, bro, and it will fuck with you psychologically, because
Yeah.
it's real money, man. It's not a pleasant experience knowing that, like, damn, bro, I just lost $50 on this trade. Like, I could have fucking bought a new shirt with that, or a new pair of jeans, or I could have taken my buds out to eat or something. So yeah, it's when it comes to the money aspect, the management and the psychology element of trading are two things that people need to get aligned immediately, because if you don't, it's going to be a brutal process in the beginning. And like Chris said, you never have to feel rushed to take a trade, because when our setups are there, you'll know. Like, you'll know. The reason I like the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar trade is because that is our setup. That is a dynamic stop hunt. Why? Because there are several contact points on that trend line. You get a trap off that trend line. If you take a look at it, you literally get a trap off that trend line. When you go to the 4 hour, and on a weekly time frame, it makes sense as well. It took out several highs. Go back down to the 4 hour chart, bro. You guys saw how you got that sell off around the trend line, and then you got that volatile spike up, taking out those orders, and then it went out for a double swipe, and now we're getting that selling pressure. That is an amazing setup for me. And we could definitely run it back down to, like I said, the origination of that level. So when I saw that to me is like, dude, I'm gonna and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Big fucking deal. But that's gonna be a trade that you're gonna want to hold for a little bit. And it wasn't rushed. Like I said, we were just Chris was just scanning through some charts, and he just said, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "Bro, that looks fucking good, so I'm gonna take it." And that's it,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I will say another thing too that when I am consistent in my trading is like just taking my profits or at least moving my stop loss to break even, because it's just like euro the euro yen. I was up a good amount of money like in my initial trade I entered, like the bigger lot size, and then it's just like it was up a significant amount of money, but I never moved it like under a good level, and it just ends up wiping me out, and it's just like that's something I have to work on myself, you know. Like, you know, remember how you told us like if you're gonna add it to a position, like make sure you're breaking even or it's in profit and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We've
tell
been
you that.
noticing, Casey, that's we've been entering a position, it goes to midpoint, comes back and takes us out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing too. I'll close my smaller positions, which kind of doesn't make any fucking sense, but I'll kind of like close my smaller position and then have the main position open, maybe because of the money, but then like the trade will go wrong, and it's like now I didn't take no money at all, you know.
Yeah. Now, see, you got to do the complete opposite, bro. What you got to do is, if you're trading with size, you got to be quick to take the profits on the bigger size and then let the little positions run. Because if they go against you, you're not going to lose a big amount of money. Sure, you're not going to make a lot if it did continue to go your way. But not only did you lock in profits, but if you have those little smaller positions open, they're not going to fuck with you psychologically, because they're like, oh, big fucking deal, dude. I'm not going to lose any significant amount of money if it does go wrong. I can cut the trade immediately if it just I'm not feeling it no more. And the good news is, like, even if you know you don't make any significant money, if it does go your way, it's still profit. It adds to your original profit that you locked in. So those are just difficult things to overcome. It's like what we think. This is the problem with the retail space, man. What we think is logical to do is not logical. You know, I learned that early on too. That's why when I take trades with massive size, I'm very quick to take my profits at least at a 1-to-1, because 9 times out of 10, if it does pull back, it's gonna fuck with you psychologically. So if you have multiple positions on, you have to figure out, you have to develop and tailor a strategy that works best for you based off how you handle things.